Have you been surprised with what you're seeing on film with Jalen Hurts?
I would never underestimate any guy like Jalen, who one is a winner. Two, when we did the scouting report on him, he's a tremendous leader. And three, his desire and his work ethic to want to be great. So you never want to underestimate that.
Let's see if we can connect here again. Stephen, are you there, my friend?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, I sure can. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. You tell Shelby I said thank you very much. Stephen, congratulations to you guys and what you guys are doing right now with the roster. I mean, you've got to be pretty excited with the fact where most teams end up really struggling when they lose their quarterback. Here you sit 4-1 going into a big game on Sunday.
Well, my hat's off to our coaching staff, to our players, and obviously Cooper Rush for what he's done. But I think, and he'd be the first to tell you, it's not just him. I think everybody knew when we lost Dak after that first week. One, we didn't play well, but two, to lose Dak was a challenge. And so for the guys to respond the way they did, I thought was just outstanding. Everybody stepped up in a big way. Obviously, the defense is playing at a high level. The offensive line is really coming on to its own. The continuity's coming around. We're running the ball better and better. And just think this team, has a lot of upside in terms of us continuing to get better. Now, we're fixing to play a really good football team in the Philadelphia Eagles, the only undefeated team left in the league. They do a lot of things well. They're riding a good young quarterback right now. He's doing a great job for them. They run the ball well. They play good defense. It's going to be a big challenge and a feisty environment when it comes around to Sunday night.
Absolutely. Stephen, did Dak take snaps today?
He didn't take snaps. He just threw the ball, threw it well. He's thrown it 2 days in a row now, but he didn't actually take practice snaps.
Are you going to make that a game time decision on who it is? Or are you going with Cooper Rush on Sunday?
We'll see. We're going to we still got a couple of days here to work here in Dallas. And I'm sure when we're ready to make a decision, I know Coach McCarthy will get with Kellen and Dak and we'll finalize that.
Stephen, have you been surprised with Cooper Rush's play? Has he surprised you at all?
Well, no, not at all. I mean, if you go back to the Vikings game last year and how he played in a hostile environment there in Minnesota, he really stepped up and did a great job. Our coaches, whether it's Coach McCarthy, Kellen Moore, Nussmeier, they've always said Cooper could coach this offense. And he knows where to go with the ball. He understands the game. He understands, the anticipation of getting rid of the ball and not holding it. He's obviously done a great job protecting it. He's just really good, with his skill set, he's really good with it.
Stephen, how much does this go into an organizational decision when you guys decide to make that switch back? And again, I'm not asking you to break any news here now, but see, the experience you guys have had in the past, you and your dad and the organization, you had Steve Beuerlein back in the day. And you guys had to make that decision then with Troy Aikman and with Steve Beuerlein. Having gone through that process, has that prepared you for what you guys are doing right now and how you're handling the dual quarterback scenario and all the conversation about it?
Yes, every situation's different. I mean, we obviously had the Dak Romo decision when Romo missed most of the season and, came back and was able to play. I mean, all those, your past experiences as well as where we are right now play into everything. Obviously, Dak's our franchise quarterback. I think we've got a chance to only get better when he ultimately returns. As I said, I think Cooper's done an outstanding job, but Dak's one of the top quarterbacks in this league, and he'll do a great job when he's ready to come back. And I know everybody looks forward to that as well.
Stephen, couple last questions for you. When you look at what Micah Parsons has brought to your defense, and I was talking to Brad Sham about this yesterday and also to Michael Irvin about it. To me, I mean, obviously 2 different positions and 2 different skill sets, but do you see the same type of impact that Mike is making on your defense that when you guys acquired Charles Haley?
there's no question, as you said, no two players are alike, but he is so impactful in terms of we always talk about the draft room. You're always trying to find that guy when the other team breaks the huddle. They want to know where he is quickly, and certainly Charles was that way in his prime. DeMarcus Ware was that way, and certainly Micah's certainly performing to that level as well, and he is so impactful to our defense. He's so versatile too. I mean, this guy can rush the passer. He can blitz. He can spy. He can go sideline to sideline. He can drop in coverage. He's a tremendous athlete with very unique speed for his size. And I think he is a game changer. But I'm sure as the season goes, and he knows this better than anyone, and so does Dan Quinn, we'll continue to see different looks in terms of how they're going to deal with and work against Micah.
Stephen, I know Dan very well, and Gus Bradley and him worked together in Seattle when they were putting the Legion of Boom together. And, the one thing he said to me was if they didn't have the injury to DeMarcus Lawrence, we may not have ever really known exactly what this kid's ability was going to be like, because he went to him and he said this after Lawrence got hurt. He went, "Hey, let's try this. Let's put your hand down here. Let's rush the passer." And all of a sudden, this has evolved into really a specialized defense. And really, he's customized this defense around him. Do you agree?
Well, I think when we drafted him, one of the things Jerry asked and we were curious about is, we talked about how he could be a unique pass rusher in the NFL, but, he was drafting him there as an outside linebacker. You certainly wanted to understand, and I think Dan did a great job of explaining to Will, explaining to Jerry and myself, how he could use him in a lot of different ways. So there was a vision for Micah when we drafted him. And of course, Dan's delivered on that and some. And, he's just a unique player in the NFL that, has a chance to be one of the best players in the NFL.
Two last questions for you here. Have you been surprised with what you're seeing on film with Jalen Hurts?
I would never underestimate any guy like Jalen, who one is a winner. Two, when we did the scouting report on him, he's a tremendous leader. And three, his desire and his work ethic to want to be great. So you never want to underestimate that. Obviously, he not unlike Dak, he went later in the draft. He wasn't one of those first round guys, but he has a unique skill set that he's going to get the most out of everything that he's about. And, a lot of times those guys, not unlike a Tom Brady who got drafted late, those are the guys who end up doing great things. But everything that we've seen, we've got our work cut out for us for Sunday night. He's a winner, and, it's going to be a great atmosphere and hopefully a great game, and certainly one, that hopefully we can come away with a win.
There's no doubt that those guys like Dak and with Jalen, they have lumber yards on their shoulder, not chips. Why is Eagle Cowboy Week always, especially, Stephen, when they're winning, why is it always this kind of way here where you've got this kind of an environment and such? When is this one of your biggest rivals when you're talking Eagles and Cowboys?
I don't even think there has to be the great records on both sides. It's just a great rivalry, and it's all hands on deck and no love lost when you play between the lines. I mean, I have great respect for Jeff Lurie and their organization, but on the field, there's zero love lost when you go against each other. You throw the records out. It's just one of those great NFC East rivalries, and between the lines, there's no love lost.
Absolutely. Stephen, thank you so much. I know you're swamped. It's a big week. Cowboys and Eagles on Sunday Night Football on NBC. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You got it. Stephen Jones, the CEO of the Dallas Cowboys on Cowboy Eagle Week. How you doing? Quick timeout. Get your thoughts. We tried to get a scoop. I don't know if we were kind of sick, but there was something in there that I do want to bring up. Keep it here on the National Football Show.